sorcerers wield innate magic that is stamped into their being. Some sorcerers can't name the origin of their power, while others trace it to strange events in their personal family history. The touch of a dragon, the blessing of a dryad at baby's birth, or the strike of lightning. Are they implying that, like, draconic sorcerers, like, they have a dragon ancestor?
Yeah, I think they always did.
Well,
They always had, like, dragon.
Stone's voice lagging for...
Yeah, no, it's fucked up.
Oh, shit. Well, I don't know what the fuck he said. I don't know, I think it's very strong implying, like, a half-dragon.
Sorry, I was in another room with a wireless headset, so it did not work.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure the Draconic... Because it was literally called Draconic Bloodline, was the subclass, right?
It was like, you had like an
I thought it was like a Shinto god thing, like the dragon bestowed.
I mean, I think you could flame it either way.
But, I think that was one of the examples, is that you had an ancestor that made a pact with a dragon for magic or something like that.
Yeah,
and they also don't want to explicitly say that people were boning dragons.
Well, the touch of a dragon.
People are boning dragons, yes, this is true.
It's becoming more explicit.
I would argue that dragons are boning people.
Boning people, yeah, fair enough.
That's true. I mean, it depends on the level. Like, fucking Rock could bone a dragon. And he's only level 7.
I don't know. You'd need, like, a really huge one.
He's so fucking strong. He could 1v1 a dragon.
I would agree.
But also, I don't think dragons are actually just boning people in dragon form. I think they're just taking on a humanoid form. And then...
Well, yeah.
And then boom, bing, bam, next thing leads to another. You give birth to a half dragon.
No, yes. I need my hot dragon sex in my tabletop game now.
I need it.
Oh,
I need
While we're talking about dragons, I hate the draconic fucking kobolds and that whole thing. Damn the furry.
Yeah, I think they just need to be a little...
Oh, do you like the dog kobolds?
I prefer the dog kobolds. And also, I prefer the non-furry kobolds. Like they look like normal dogs and not like ooh furry dogs.
Ooh.
I think they should look like the little white dogs with shit in their eyes. They should be like they should all just be like little rat dogs.
Little rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I drew mine looking like Australian wild dogs.
A little Aussie dog, eh? Yeah? Little Aussie dog?
Let's see. So sorcerers don't learn magic. The raw, roiling chaos magic is part of them. Essential art of the sorcerer is learning how to harness and channel their innate magic, allowing the sorcerer to discover new and staggering ways to unleash their power. I don't think this text is true. It's like discover new ways to cast the same spells as wizards do, but like you can do metamagic sometimes.
Well, you know.
Okay, sorcerers are rare. Some family lines produce exactly one sorcerer in every generation. That's not rare. That's pretty common. But most of the time, talents...
It says some.
Yeah. Oh, I'm retarded. Some produce a sorcerer every generation, but most of the time it's a fluke. Okay. So, I'm noticing a change already. Prepared spells. That doesn't sound like spells known to me.
Oh, no, they just fucked up the wording because they did it for Warlock, too. They don't actually prepare spells. I mean, maybe I didn't read this one and they did, but for Warlock, they
fucked up the wording on Warlock, and they call them prepared spells even though they don't prepare spells.
Yeah, let me see. You prepare the list of spells of first level or higher that are available to you when you cast feature. To start, choose 2 first level spells from the arcane spell list. Rather than choosing, you may start with these 2. Detect magic. That's funny. The number of spells on your list also increases as you gain sorcerer levels. Whenever that increases, choose additional spells from the list until it matches. Okay, so it's not saying that you... whenever you gain a level,
one spell on your
so it is just spells known, but they're called spells prepared.
They're just calling them prepared.
Just to fuck up your brain.
I don't like that. Mm-hmm.
That's
also, sorcerers don't get ritual casting. Why would they ever take the tech magic?
Yeah, that's the meme.
No,
Here's-
all
here's
the
when they're
spells
in.
that they say, like, oh, you can start with these instead if you don't feel like choosing, are horrible. Like,
Well,
horrible.
Burning Hands is good.
Burning Hands is good. Okay, well, they
No.
told the Warlock to start with Witch Bolt.
Fucking the
No,
wave
they didn't.
exists.
Yes, they did.
They said and they haven't updated Witch Bolt yet in a
Not as far
playtest,
as
have
I'm
they?
aware. Yeah.
Here's the
Yeah, I don't know
thing.
about it.
Why would you
Me
take
too.
Burning Hands when you could take the wave, Thunder Wave?
This is also true.
Is Thunderwave better?
It
It's a
does
D8.
9 damage on average versus 3.5, 7, 10.5. So it's like 1.5 less points of damage, but it's better shape, so it's going to hit more targets on average, and it pushes enemies away, which as a wizard or a sorcerer, you're probably going to want enemies to not be next to you.
But
I'd
it does
imagine.
less damage, right?
It does 1.5 points of less damage.
On
Well,
average.
it does 3.5 points less.
No, because it's 2d8
it's
versus
2d8.
3d6.
Oh, is it 2d8?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's why it's a never picker.
Huh. I don't know. I'd still pick Burning Hands just for bigger number.
It's fun. Yeah, I like Burning Hands.
Yeah.
It's a fun
It
spell.
seems like a bigger number until you realize you can only hit like one target who's next to you.
Hey,
You've got
literally
3
last time we played,
goblins.
I hit 4 fucking people with one Burning Hands.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, you can hit quite a few if it's like, if you're fighting like squads or like armies that are like tend to group up.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm just gonna grab a snip real quick, and I'm gonna show you. So here's the fucking dude. Here's 2 ones, right? Here's the Burning Hands. And then here's the cube. It's just bigger.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you can
it does cover
have-
more.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there.
You can have like an asshole over here and here. They don't get Burning Hands, right? Anything that the Burning Hands can hit, the square can also hit, but it has the advantage of also like being closer to. It's a better spell. I personally think
Right.
Thunderwave should like go out in all directions maybe and do like a D8 damage or some shit, but I'd have to like noodle with the balance or whatever to really confirm it.
Look, when you're fighting an air elemental, you'll be glad you took Burning Hands.
That's true. Can get a better licking before you get like crushed.
Well, yeah, you know how it goes.
So let's see. So 1d6 HP per sorcerer level, 6 plus con modifier, blah blah blah. This is the same. Constitution saving throw, that's the same. It's part of the reason why people would like to multi-class sorcerer con save good, especially with
I'd say
casters.
very good.
Yes.
Get stuff, yada yada.
Look, okay, so I know this is like a shitty thing, but
Yeah.
like this is my hot take. I kind of wish that like sorcerers were like con casters.
That's way too powerful.
It is really powerful, but like I'm
That's
sure
way too good.
I'm sure there were ways that you could limit their power with that.
I don't think that makes sense.
I don't know. They're all about like okay. So they added some spells to them that I do like that are like make it like very feel like oh your inner like of magic, but like,
Yeah, but that's charisma. Charisma's willpower.
Well, charisma's confidence, wisdom's willpower.
No, wisdom's like avoiding being tricked or whatever.
Well, yeah, but it's also like having like a disciplined mind and being able to control your urges. Monks have high wisdom, not high charisma.
Okay, but when a ghost is trying to possess you, you use a charisma save because it's your.
That's because D&D has a fucking poor system of not. You can't base your entire body.
But
off
like,
of
okay, but first of all, every other mind control in the game is wisdom. You pick the one that's charisma.
Yeah, because
And
it's
that's because
different.
charisma is like your force of personality. It's how much
Yeah.
you feel you belong.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's
It's
not
your force of
willpower.
will, your first personality. It's your
I
ability to
didn't say
cling
force of
to
will, I
this
said
fucking
force of
dimension
personality.
and to maintain your sense of self. Other mind controls, they trick you.
I'm
They
just saying
charm you.
monks that are training in a monastery have the willpower to not give in to the material things, which is why they have high wisdom, but they don't have high charisma. Whereas you can be a charismatic, suave, silver-tongued dude, and you can just give in to all of your debaucherous desires.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, they wanted charisma to be useful, unlike in 2E, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the real reason. Alright, wisdom's
Plus, I think all magic should be, like, mental-based. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, sorcerer should be a wisdom caster then. You've convinced me. Let's get more wisdom casters in the game. I love it.
True.
So you always have the sorceress burst. Hold up, an event in your past left an indelible mark, blah blah blah. You always have the sorceress burst and chaos bolt. Alright, let me just quickly look at what those are.
So chaos bolt is 120 feet range spell attack. On hit, it's a first level spell.
It's a chromatic orb.
Yeah, it's a chromatic orb. They take 2d8 plus 1d6, and you choose one of the d8s that decides the damage type.
And
then sorcerer's burst is their cantrip. 1d6.
Hold up.
And if you roll 6, it explodes. Oh!
That's kind of fun.
That is fun.
So the Chaos Bolt also has like an explosive die thing going as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that one does too. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
So if you roll 2 of the same number, it jumps to another target of your choice within 30 feet. You make a new attack roll.
I really like the chaotic sorcery spells.
Yeah, it does beg the question, like, why would you ever take Chromatic Orb? Ever?
Well, I think you're not supposed to. I think that Sorcerer is just supposed to have better Chromatic Orb. That's kind of
that's fair. Then the Sorceress thing is the cantrip. So they have 5 cantrips instead of 4. Why do they have so many fucking cantrips? That's so wacky.
I think Sorcerer's always had.
Yeah, I know, but now they're adding even more of them. So you cast Sorceress Energy at one creature within range, or object within range, 120 feet, so it's like Firebolt. On a hit, target takes a d6. If you roll a d6, you can add another d6. Whenever you cast a spell... Wait, what? Whenever you cast a spell, the maximum number of these d6s you can add equals your ability modifier. So
The words, whenever you cast a spell, do not need to be in that sentence.
They do not, yeah.
That has nothing to do with the rest of it.
So, no, I think it's like a cap on the explosive dice.
Yeah, but I'm just saying those first 5 words don't add anything to the sentence.
Oh, yeah, that is true. It should just be the maximum number of these d6s. It's equal to your ability modifier.
Fucking weird.
And
you get to pick the damage type too. That's good.
Yeah, it's a little bit silly. You just pick Psychic every time. It's whatever.
Unless you're fighting Mind Flayers.
Yeah, so in that one case, you'd pick Fire.
Oh, you pick it? I thought you would roll. Okay.
You choose the damage type each time. That's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I'm surprised that one's not random.
Mm-hmm.
So the cantrip's kind of interesting to me. I don't have like a statistics degree. I feel like...
Okay, so like I took one stats of statistics.
How much is a sixth? Pull out a calculator.
Oh, it's like 13% or something.
6 is 18 point.
18, yeah.
16.6. I mean, 0.16, 6666, infinite.
So like
80.
83-something% of the time, you're just doing shit damage.
Yeah, and then
I mean, it scales, right? But then, it
scales as
it's worse than
d6s.
Firebolt most of the time.
Yes.
Most of the time, it's worse than
83% of the time,
Firebolt.
It's worse than Firebolt. And then even the 16% of the time, you can roll a 1 or a 2, and it's still like.
Well, when you level to level 5, you're going to throw 2d6, and then if you roll a 6 on 2d6,
and then your odds are going up.
Okay.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So the explosive dice, dude. I feel like you need a fucking spreadsheet to determine if this is a good spell.
Okay, so like, well, here's the thing: compound events are a big fucking great filter for statistics.
Yeah, it seems to me like
every
early
time,
on,
there's like a way less chance, but yeah.
It seems to me like early on, there's like the siren song that's like, ooh, you can roll another d6. Just use the d6 spell. Right?
Yeah, kind of.
And then when you get like 5th or 11th level, it probably shapes out where it might be a little bit better than firebolting. I think once you're rolling 46, it's probably better, but I'm also not 100% sure.
I don't know. I think levels 1
46,
through 4, it's a little poopy, but then once you have 5, it's like pretty good.
I mean, you also have the thing where you can change the damage type, so I think it's nice to have in your back pocket if you know. I mean, also there's not a whole lot of things of like damage immunities, especially early game and stuff like that, or resistances.
Yeah.
But,
I will say
that is something that could be useful.
This is yet another Tor bugaboo. I hate how damage types don't matter, and this is another feature
they
that's
don't matter
contributing
until
to
they
that.
really matter, and then
And now they don't matter even in those cases because you can just pick one of any damage type.
Well, but only the sorcerer can do that.
Yeah, only the sorcerer can.
Which, like, I don't know. I'm fine with them having a little bit more like control over like what little magic they can do. That's kind of always been their thing. Is they get less spells than the wizard, but they get more control over those spells.
It's not a sorcerer specific thing. That's a bugaboo I have with Pole game. It's like there's like 10 damage types and it almost never comes up. And yeah, it's important when it does come up, but most people have ways of dealing other damages. It just doesn't matter. It feels like weird. I like in Darkest Dungeon, for example, that you like the damage types matter. There's some zones where you don't use Blight, some zones where you don't use Bleed, right? And you play
I
around
want to play
that.
Darkest Dungeons again now.
Huh? Yeah,
I
it's
want to
good.
play Darkest Dungeon again now.
Well, I mean, look, we skipped this week because of prep. There will be more dungeon next week, I assure you. Let's see. So spellcasting, 5 cantrips when you include innate sorcery. Then rather than choosing, you can pick light, message, prestidigitation, and shocking grasp. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they tell you to pick bad shit. It's very funny.
They're trying to trick you so that you have to rely on the exploding dice. So you can be like, oh, big numbers. I rolled a 6, guys.
Yeah, you pick 3 like.
Light message and prestidigitation are good. Shocking grasp is silly.
Shocking grasp is good.
It's okay. Here's the thing. You could just pick Thunderwave and then you wouldn't need Shocking Grasp.
But Thunderwave is not a cantrip.
Yeah, but still. And you could have Firebolt and you'd be doing more damage.
But when someone's in melee range of you, you have disadvantage with ranged spells.
So that's why you Thunderwave them. And you don't let it happen more than twice per long rest.
Well, yeah, but that's shitty. This way you can use your first level spell for other stuff and you can still get out of a melee altercation.
It's true.
It's good to have in your back pocket.
Yeah.
You're not
Especially if you
using
get
it
5
often.
fucking cantrips, like whatever, why not? Take Shocking Grasp of little.
So when you reach 4th and 10th level, you get another cantrip. I don't really like how they're pushing the arcane divine thing either. I like the idea of different spell lists.
Yeah, I like different spell lists too.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I understand having the delineation exist for new books, right? For the ability to print new books and have it mesh with the old books. But I feel like there should be a base list and then everything in the new book should be arcane, divine, primal. That would be the best of both worlds.
The thing that's kind of frustrating with this is that already we're seeing that like there is the arcane spell list, but then there are spells that are sorcerer only. There are spells that are wizard only. There are spells that are probably going to be warlock only.
Is it all
They're
class
already
lists?
like adding exceptions.
Is there like a spell list thingy in this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not all of them, but there's a couple new ones, and there is a
No, it's the
new sorcerer
arcane
one
spell
that I like.
list. Oh, cool.
Oh, it's only arcane. Okay.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. There's only arcane
I mean, that's all.
casters here.
That's all in this document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get slightly more into it. I think, I like the idea that a class is partially balanced by its spell list. So this kind of eats at that.
I mean, it doesn't, because then they also just give them spells that are like that class only. So like, I don't know. The thing that annoys me about it is that the arcane spell list is basically the wizard spell list.
Yeah, and so now sorcerers and warlocks just have the wizard spell
just
list.
have all the wizard spell list, and then have their own things too.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they gave
but wizards,
the wizard powerful.
Wizards got a buff in this, which is kind of
They
funny.
Okay, well, they need a buff. Their main thing was, I mean, they don't need a buff, but if they're giving everyone wizard spells, that's when they need the buff. Because
Yes.
the better spell list was the wizard's thing.
I like the new wizard. I think it fits their flavor more. But
Okay.
we're still in Sorcerer, so.
Yep. So pick 2 spells. I don't want to get super deep into it. This looks mostly the same as the old Sorcerer.
Yeah.
But
Overall, the Sorcerer gets access to more spells.
Yep.
Because that was like the shittiest part of Sorcerer.
Well, that was the shittiest part of Sorcerer. Hopefully they remove the god-awful Clockwork Soul. Now it's just more viable to play like normal.
Yeah, because it used to be that like the Tasha's ones got like extra spells.
Yeah, and so you'd pick the
Tasha's realized Sorcerers sucked. Yeah, or you pick an old one and then you just ask your DM to get the same amount of spells that the Tasha's one have.
You just go, please.
Well, no, the Clockwork Soul one got the ability to swap out their spells for wizard spells, which made them ridiculous.
Shit.
Oh, wait,
that is
really?
Nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but now it's just all sorcerers have that.
Yeah, well, you know.
So level 2, Font of Magic. So you get sorcery points. You have 2 sorcery points. You get more each time you level up. You can never have more points than shown on the table. Regain them all when you finish long rest. This is normal. You can use sorcery points to add spell slots. That's also normal. Still takes bonus action. I think this is the same like ratio.
It is the same ratio, yeah.
And then second level, we got Metamagic. Because magic flows through you get Metamagic options, which are later in the list. So there's no way to evaluate it except you can only use one Metamagic option on a spell when you cast it, unless otherwise noted. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace one of your Metamagic options with one you don't know.
That's really good.
That's a new thing, right?
That's new, and also you used to only get 2, now you get 3.
Oh, okay.
Shit, yeah.
So they buffed the Metamagic.
They buff Metamagic, which it needed.
Yeah, that's fine. So they've got...
Also, you got Metamagic at 3rd level. But you got sorcery points at 2nd level. So you had a level where, like, you couldn't do shit with them.
It's just an extra spell slot.
Yeah, that's silly.
So stupid.
That was goofy. I remember like building sorcerers and being like, what the fuck?
And they'd be like, wait a minute. What the fuck's going on here?
Dude, this is a feature they should have combined. Unlike the fighter thing. Alright. 3rd level, you get the Sorcerer subclass. You gain the Draconic Sorcery, or another one of your choice. This is like PHP logic. You can gain the good one, or another one of your choice.
Yeah.
Well, that's also the one that's in the document, right?
Yeah. Subclass, specialization, yada yada, subclass stuff. 4th level feat. Gain a feat. Level 5. You can use your innate magic to heal yourself. You always have Sorcerer's Vitality prepared.
Yeah, it's a...
Okay, and what is Sorcerer's Vitality? I've got a... So it's a 3rd level abjuration spell. You heal yourself equal to 2d6 plus ability mod as an action. And if you have any of the following conditions, they end on you: blinded, deafened, poisoned. So that's reasonable, kind of.
I mean, it's not like there's no
restoration that
cost.
heals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you always have it.
Plus
so, like,
charisma.
If it gets used, it's always going to be good, and there's never going to be not giving up something to have.
That's a 3rd level spell slot.
It is a 3rd level
that could be Fireball. They made sure to make Fireball OP, so why would you...
But no, I'm just saying that you're never.
If you get blinded,
unless you're blinded, deafened, or poisoned, and you're like that shit needs. You're never going to use that unless you're about to die or you're blinded, deafened, and poisoned, and then it's going to be worse.
Wow, if you're deafened or poisoned, it doesn't really matter that much for a sorcerer.
That's true.
Blinded, however, that absolutely does matter because
you can't cast
targeting spells. No, you can cast them, and there would be some. I'm imagining there's some tables out there where it's like, I know the room is this shape. I should be able to put my fireball perfectly, right? But assuming the DM doesn't allow that, then the blinded condition matters.
Well, also any sort of targeting saving throw, you have to see your.
That's true, also.
Yeah, unless you have bullshit like Mind Spike, that's the only way around it usually.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like the sorcerer is more likely to cast attack roll spells than like other spellcasters, so poison will still matter.
Yeah. It would feel bad to waste 3rd level spell to remove poison, though, when you could just fireball and do other saving throw spells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like a 2nd level lesser restoration.
Yeah, or just wait for the poison to go away. Most poisons have repeat saves, as far as I remember.
And they're con, and you're good at con.
Yeah, and you're good at con.
I don't know. Yeah, this feels weak.
Yeah,
especially especially if you're Divine Soul Sorcerer and you get access to the
Divine Soul,
spell list, this is like really bad.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not like it's not. I don't think it's strong by any measure, but at least it's not like, oh yeah, there just is a spell now that's this, and you're like, why would I ever take this? At least it's just like, oh, you have it.
It's an option.
You just have it in your back pocket.
It's an extra spell, so the sorcerer has even more extra spells.
Yep.
All right, at 7th level, to get Arcane Eruption, which is 120 feet range, so it's super long range. It's a fireball. At least in the radius. So explodes in a point you choose within range. See, I feel like I know players who would argue you don't need to see the point to choose the point with this one. When you cast the spell, select the damage type: acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, psychic, or thunder. So psychic or thunder. Each creature must make con save. It does 66 damage, and then you roll a d6. No, you choose one of the d6s, which you're rolling 6 of them, so you're going to have a pretty wide choice.
Yeah, you're going to maybe.
And then the number rolled on the die determines a condition that's applied to each creature who failed to save. Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, that's awesome.
That's
pretty silly.
Ludicrously powerful.
Incapacitated, blinded, frighted, poisoned, charmed, deafened.
Yeah.
Damn.
So there's
But it's
3
fourth
super duper really good ones, and then 3
And then
less good
there's,
ones. Incapacitated is always big.
Incapacitated and blinded are good. What was the third good one?
Frightened.
Oh, I mean, poison gives them all disadvantage.
Yeah, but a lot of creatures are immune to poison
Immune to poison,
condition.
you're right,
Frightened
you're
does the
right.
same thing, but
I
it
kind of
also
forgot poison's bad.
yeah. Frightened
Silly
prevents
me.
targets from moving towards you as well. Right. So
Yes.
this feels
what
OP.
other fourth level
It's a fourth
spells
level spell.
do they have that? I mean, greater invisibility is a fourth level spell.
Yeah.
That's
Lance.
pretty good.
Psychic Lance.
Psychic Glance and Mention Door. Management's okay. Confusion's Polymorph. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty strong.
It's like Synaptic Static,
It's
which is a
good
5th level
fourth
spell.
What is Synaptic? What's the bad effect on Synaptic Static?
Minus
worse.
D6 to everything.
Yeah.
I think that's better than this.
I would say so too.
Not better than Incapacitated. That's literally a stun.
I mean, it's not literally a stun, but it's pretty close.
It's very
It's as close as you can get to us being a stun without being a stun.
Yeah, because what is that? You can't take actions? Can't
Yeah.
move?
I mean, Synaptic Static does have like a lasting debuff. Being like frightened or whatever, I would say is worse than being minus 1d6.
Oh,
blind,
and that
but-
only lasts one turn.
Yeah, this is the one thing that makes it less OP than
Okay.
Synaptic Static.
I would say.
I think
no, I'm
for
gonna
a
say
fourth
Psychic
level spell,
Lance.
it's
Psychic
on
Lance is a
par.
4th level spell. I think it either does the same damage or 1 less d6 of damage, and incapacitates 1 target. This does 66
Yep.
to a fireball radius, and it can incapacitate
How
everyone
long does the incapacitation last?
until the end of the next turn.
Yep.
On Psychic Lance?
Psychic Lance does target intelligence, though, which does make
It does, that's true.
That is a
almost
better
always
save.
succeed.
And it's a 4th level?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. This does seem a little better than that, but like
Also,
I don't
Sorcerer
think
exclusive.
it's on par with like 5th level spell. Like I think it fits the 4th level.
If you roll 1, it's
yeah.
on par. That's what I would say.
You roll-
If any of the
You roll all
6 sixes, D6s
Well,
rolls a
I
1.
think I did notice how they made the better effects the low numbers. So if
Yeah.
you low roll, you have the better effects, but if you high roll, you have the worse effects, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that is fun. I didn't even think about that. Now, you could roll 5 6s and 1 1. Then you
Yeah, well, you
fucking
know.
Well, yeah,
off
and
to
then
the moon.
you praise Tamora for the good luck and
Yeah.
own a bunch of losers.
Own a bunch of kobolds.
Just coom like fucking Akenkost.
God, I hope you're not casting the spell on fucking 5 HP kobolds.
That would be a little
There's
bit
like 100 of them.
ridiculous.
They're piled in. Every single square is a kobold.
At that point, the
at that
stats
point-
effect doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, it's
They all die.
they're like grass. You just
Okay, at 9th level, you get the Sorcery Incarnate spell.
let's go look again.
Let's go look
Yeah.
again.
Where is it? So bonus action, concentration, 1 minute, 5th level spell. The magic within you blooms. You gain 1d4 sorcery points, and you also get 1 benefit. You can use 2 options on each spell you cast, provided you pay the cost, and you have advantage on the attack rolls of every spell you cast.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's not bad. It's not.
You have advantage
Like-
on attack rolls, so you can
Yeah.
use magic.
It being a bonus action.
Regain 1d4 sorcery points, and it's a bonus action.
Okay, yeah, that makes
That part's good. I'm just like
This is pretty
closing my
cool.
eyes and imagining the greater invisibility spell. And I feel like I'd pick that every time over Sorcery Incarnate.
well, greater invisibility is a lower level too.
Yeah, that
Oh.
makes it even better.
Well, but what are the? Wait, let me look at the meta magic because I'm sure there's some like goofy combos you could do.
Yeah,
Well, you could like subtle spell, and I mean, you can't do it on that turn, but you could like always quicken spell.
all right, yeah. All right, we'll take a look at the spells. We're going a little bit out of order. So there's Careful Spell. And protect some of... When you cast a spell, it forces other creatures to make a saving throw. You can protect some of the creatures from the spell's full force. Spend 1 sorcery point. Choose a number of creatures up to your charisma modifier. They automatically succeed on the save. And take no damage if it would normally take half damage on the successful save. I feel like that's different wording. Is that always it?
I don't know. I don't really play the sorcerer, but
That sounds like a
You could,
humongous upgrade.
You can use up to 2 of your meta magic options. So you can use hide and spell twice if you're casting something that targets multiple creatures.
There's no way you can use hide and spell twice on the same spell.
You can use up to 2 of your meta magic. I guess it's technically 1 meta magic option. Nah, okay, maybe this is shitty.
Yeah, no, they buffed the fuck out of Careful Spell. This is extremely powerful buff.
It takes no damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Well,
is
now it's actually useful. It
no,
used to
it's
kinda
now
suck.
it's fucking incredibly powerful, and every sorcerer should pick, unless the next ones are also crazy. Because
But like it used to kind of suck because it forced
Yeah.
a save, but you still dealt a fuckload of damage to your allies.
yeah, it used to be not good, and now it's extremely good. Here's the thing: I remember
I think so
Akenkost
should've been.
being forced to pick a suboptimal zone because he had allies in the way. I assume that
yeah, true.
happens to PCs too.
Mhm.
But now you
Yeah.
could just fireball into your own army, your own allies, and just not
Yeah.
hit them. Now there is a
That makes
limit.
Sorcerer good.
Yeah. There's a limit, so it's not like hugely crazy. You know, you can't do it for armies, but still.
yeah.
Whoa! Distance spell. Increase the spell's range by a number of feet equal to 30 times your sorcerer level.
Okay,
That is a lot better. Yeah.
that is a lot better.
Let me just increase this counter spell by 600 feet.
Yeah. I
For
don't
one
know.
sorcery point.
Can you counterspell someone who's 600 feet away, really?
Probably not. You can't. There's no way you'd even tell they're casting a spell. But that was an
binoculars and
extreme
look at 'em.
example.
No, here's what it is. This is for autistic DMs to troll the fuck out of their players. There's the enemy sorcerers level 5. Players are like walking, and then from like a nearby mountain or something, like fireball goes out and hits them.
Yeah. He just goes and hides behind the thing. And
Yeah.
just don't pass their
They'll
perception
never
checks.
know.
Miss, never know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's for DMs or for the very small subset of players who are not like murder hoboing around. And so they can be the ones on the
Powered
mountain.
spell's the same. It didn't change.
Yeah.
But it was always a good one. So
Yeah. More damage, more good.
I guess I'll
It is one of those
longer.
game slower downer ones because you have to pick up the dice and roll them again,
Yep.
Yeah, kind of.
which is whatever.
We're in a campaign where someone uses it a lot.
Yeah, he just plays Warhammer.
And he never brings his own dice, so he's always having to ask people
Yeah,
to like
can I have
borrow
your dice? And he
D6s.
picks us like 8 of them, and it's just like I'm gonna.
Based. Is he eating Cheetos too?
Sometimes.
No, he was dipping crackers in honey.
That's even worse.
Getting honey all over your die.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot he was doing that.
Okay, extended spell.
Funny.
Whenever you cast a spell that has a duration of 1 minute or longer, you can spend a sorcery point and double its duration. If the affected spell requires concentration, you have
Oh, shit,
advantage on
that's-
any saving throw to maintain it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That is extremely good unless the Warcaster feat exists in 1D&D. in which case it doesn't matter.
For one sorcery point, just not taking a feat.
It's a really good feat, though.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's an OP feat. But if you don't have the feat, then this is another must-take, almost. In fact, I would say it's even more of a must-take than Careful Spell, because concentration
I don't know.
matters.
I think having to not take a feat for one sorcery point is pretty good, and you can just get an AS. Or I guess they're not doing like ASI feat picking. You just like get.
No, they are doing that. Here's the thing: if you're not very human,
you pick a feat.
That's good.
And then. Yeah, that's right. Because there's a feat that just gives you an ASI, and so instead of saying getting ASI or a feat, they just say get a feat, and then you can pick the feat that. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's extremely good. It's a must-take. It's even more of a must-take than Careful Spell.
Assuming you cast a lot of concentration spells.
Like every caster does. Pretty much. Blaster casters suck. Okay. Concentration's where it's at. Imagine the Sleet Storm and you have disadvantage to fucking get it off of them, basically. Or I guess they have advantage on their con saves. It's really good. The only time like it doesn't really matter, as far as I know, is like super late game where you're taking so much damage that you can't make the save. But even then, I don't know. That's extremely powerful.
I feel like, yeah.
Because like Hypnotic Pattern, Sleet Storm, fucking Web, all the best spells in the game are concentration. So this shit's good. And it lasts longer too, which doesn't really matter, probably. But the con save part's the actual important part.
This Hidden Spell got buffed because it's no longer 3 sorcery points, it's 2.
Oh. And also, you can give advantage on its saving throws against the spell. I think that's also a buff. Yeah, because it used to be the first saving throw. So this is a humongous buff. The original version cost a bunch of points. I want to say key points because the feature register is bad in my brain. So have them have disadvantage on their first save, but then subsequent ones were fine. This is disadvantage on all the saves. So
against that, wait, give one target of the spell disadvantage on its saving throw against the spell.
Yeah.
But it's when you cast it on the first creature, make saving throws and resistance effects. You get on its saving throws.
Yeah, plural.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if Akencost had it, like Rock would still be hypnotic, synaptic statics to this day.
Okay, wow, that's so much better. Because I used to think it was cool, but it was like so hard to use because it costs 3 points.
It only lasts a minute.
Yeah, sure.
And
you don't know if he did the Sorcerer's Power off screen, so he could extend the spell as well.
You can make you can make the Mind Rape Sorcerer like way better now too.
Yeah.
And a fucking wizard can take the feat that gives you 2 Metamagics and 2 sorcery points and actually use it. Because it used to be it cost 3 and you just couldn't use it unless you took the feat twice.
Yeah. This is really good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It is one target, so that doesn't like make it the most humongous, craziest thing ever.
Yeah, but like you use that on like a dominate person or some sort of like suggestion or something like that.
It's yet another reason why you can't have one boss. Right.
Well,
unless they have legendary resistance.
Yeah. Waste your points.
Basically, just use a bunch of people who are equally strong. That's the spell text.
I like that a lot.
Because otherwise, you web, hidden spell, target the big guy with the thing. They have disadvantage on their saves. You're player characters, so you have 16 in your stat, so it's like a DC. I think it's 13 at level 1. Or level 3, I guess. But still. Quicken Spell.
Quicken Spell's the same.
It's the same. I think they might have changed the wording to clarify it better, though.
Yeah, because... basically, they added...
They codified it.
Yeah, but the rule was already in the game. It's just you had to check a different part of the book to find that rule.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a loophole where you could cast 2 spells. You just had to use the bonus action one first or some shit. I think this is necessary. Really, I mean, it shouldn't be in here. There should be
It should just be in the rules.
a rule that says you can't cast 2 level spells in the same turn.
Yeah.
Like, because that's where all the autism comes from.
You can't cast another spell during the same turn you cast a spell as a bonus action, except for a cantrip at the casting time of 1 action.
Yeah. Correct. Seeking spell. If you make an attack roll miss, you can spend 2 sorcery points to reroll the d20. You can use Seeking spell even if you've already used a different Metamagic option. So, because of this second little paragraph or sentence, it means you might use this, but also, how many sorcery points do you get?
Is it the same?
1 per level.
Or is it more?
So, that's a very steep cost. If you're at level 5, you have 5 points. Seeking a spell would take 40% of your points that day.
Just to give you a reroll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just meh.
I mean, how many like attack roll spells are like worth 2 sorcery points?
Not that many.
You gotta cast 3rd level Witch Bolt, and then,
That's the base.
There you go. How many, actually, let me ask you this question. How many spells after 1st level are attack rolls?
Not that many. I'm sure there's some.
I think Scorching Ray 2nd, but that's 3 attack rolls. You're not going to spend 2 sorcery points on one
of them.
spell.
Yeah. Not great. This is a never take.
Never take. Seeking spells. Spoopy.
Subtle spell. Subtle spell is good if you are running like a more optimized table where the enemies have counterspell. Otherwise, I don't think it's super useful.
Or if you're playing a very like roleplay heavy game where you can't just cast spells while talking to someone because they'll see you muttering incantations and freak out.
That's true.
Yep.
It's
this
pretty
lets
useful.
You like suggest someone in the middle of like a courtroom and get the judge on your side or something like that.
Yeah. Of course, if that ever gets found out, you'll be turbo executed.
Turbo executed.
Yeah, but
like
just don't let it get
drawn
found out. How are they going to find out you settled it?
True.
Detect magic eventually. I don't know. Read memory, maybe. If someone does it all the time, they will eventually get caught. In fact, someone in the courtroom should have detect magic on at all times. Let's be real here.
Okay, but like most aren't.
Yeah, most aren't. If you have it's a ritual spell, okay? There's no cost.
But like, what would that, like, it would just, it's 30-foot range. Most courtrooms are bigger than 30 feet.
All you need is to look at the judge.
I guess. And then if they get under enchantment magic, the courtroom is...
Courtroom's locked down. Yeah. No, it's locked down until the investigation's over to find out who cast that spell so they can be drawn and quartered.
Bring back drawing and quartering.
For suggestion, absolutely. It's an evil spell.
It's a little evil.
Yeah, it's eviler than necromancy.
Well,
absolutely.
Necromancy's just reusing. It's just using tools, basically.
Yeah. Look, necromancy, you spawn an evil skeleton that might kill someone, whereas suggestion is like mind rape. Just way worse.
Yeah. Necromancy's just like fucking automated like factories. Like it's just like, oh, I don't want like people to do manual labor. I'll just make these fucking zombies do manual labor.
Necromancy creates evil creatures.
Dangerous.
Well, yeah, but you can command them to do whatever you want
for 24 hours. I'm just saying, like you can kill the zombie, and then there's no net evil in the universe, but it's not like the farm crop spell.
You can't unmind rape someone. Yeah,
it's true. It's always evil. See, transmuted spell. When you cast a spell, it does 1 damage type. You can make it do a different damage type. This is almost never take kind of, well, it'll come up sometimes, I guess. Here's the thing. If you're a sorcerer, unless you're like, I'm only fire spells, you're going to have different spells that do different damage types, which makes this less valuable. In my opinion. The only reason it seems valuable to me is like Fireball is OP, like deliberately so. Like the developer said, we made Fireball OP because LOL, it's Fireball. So in that case, like having a cold Fireball over upcasting Shatter, this makes sense. Other than that, I don't know. Thoughts, feelings, opinions?
It's not great.
Not compared to like advantage on con saves and shit like that. Twin spell, cast a spell of first 5th level that you hold up. When you cast a spell of first 5th level that you also cast on your previous turn by expending a spell slot, you can fuel this turn's casting of the spell by spending a number of points equal to the spell's level rather than expending a spell slot.
That's completely different.
Okay.
It's not even twinned anymore.
So it's just a discount spell.
They should just rename it something else.
Yeah, discount spell. You cast a Fireball last turn, and now you can do it for 3 sorcery points instead of a 3rd level spell the next turn. Get your discount spells here.
Is it actually like more fucking efficient to do that?
Yeah, because the 2nd level spell is 3 sorcery points, so and a 3rd level spell is 5 sorcery points, so it is more efficient. Sorry, you were saying something, Rock?
Technically, it is twinning because you're using sorcery points. You're basically cloning that spell.
Yeah.
With like your it's not. I mean,
I don't know. I prefer the old one where you could just cast one spell.
Not many spells are single target.
And most of them that are, you can just upguess to get more targets anyway.
I think twin spell's pretty good. It gives you more fireballs, which makes it a good feature. You fireball, and then you sorcery fireball, and then you fireball, and then you sorcery fireball if you're level 6. Or if you've converted a 2nd level spell in sorcery
points.
That's
too many fireballs.
A lot of fireballs.
That's the fire... You're a fire sorcerer, okay? That's what they want to do. That's the fantasy.
I'm just saying, once you fireball once, the enemies tend to spread out.
Good thing it's a 20-foot radius. So, good luck with that.
I mean, good thing they got 30 feet of movement speed.
Yeah. If they're not in
scatter.
Yeah, dude, if I was in the battlefield and someone just blew up a squad next to me with a ball of fire, I would scatter.
If your army is scattering, then the enemy has won. Because you're getting routed at that point.
We're talking about adventures.
Okay. Yeah.
Talking about
scattering is really hard, okay? Because in combat, you've got people who are in melee and people who are in ranged. Usually there's level geometry, but yeah, at that point the archers could scatter. I don't know if the warriors could scatter, because then they'd be taking attacks of opportunity, and their life expectancy is already really low. I think the more than one fireball is good. It's bound to be good. Hell, even if it hits one person, it's got good damage for its spell level. So they made it powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good.
Yeah.
You can just spam, you can spam hold persons. Well, I guess it's constant.
Yeah, if you're using sorcery points on hold person, you're using it for the other one. The disadvantage on all the saves, so you're stuck. Yeah. I don't know if it's worth using over souping up your spells, but it's definitely good. Alright, let's bang the rest of the class features out. I got food cooking. So let's see. Additional Metamagic. Gain 3 more options. That's good. Subclass feature. Don't know yet. 15th level. You regain 4 points whenever you roll initiative or finish a short rest. It's kind of interesting that it's both. That's pretty good. I mean, a lot of these options are really good and cost less than 4. So that's awesome. You can get 2 sorcery.
Yeah, that is really good.
Yeah, it's exceptionally good. It's basically I'm not going to say unlimited sorcery points, but it's fucking getting pretty close. Because you've got to go through 15th.
What was the old version? Let me find it.
Probably you regain 2 or some dumb shit.
Oh, no, it's 4. It was level 20 though.
Oh, okay.
It was level 20, and it was only short rest.
Oh.
Not initiative.
Yep, so at 16th level, you get a feat. 18th level, Arcane Apotheosis. You're now so suffused with magic, you can alter reality itself. You always have the wish spell prepared. And if you undergo the spell's casting stress, you have no chance of losing the spell.
Wait a second.
In addition, you can cast Wish to replicate a spell of 1st to 8th level without spending a slot. You can spend a slot of the replicated spell's level. Once you use it this way, you can't do it again until you finish Long Rest. So it's once you can cast any spell.
Spell's casting stress. You have no chance of losing the ability to cast the spell? That's a... What?
Yeah, that lets you wish for anything you want, basically.
Anything you want as many times as you want.
There is limits, I'm pretty sure. Like, you can't wish for all the gold in the universe, right?
Well, let me pull up the spell, actually. Now, it's been a while since
because there's a monetary value, so that's like the...
You can use this spell to duplicate any other spell of 8th level or lower. You don't need to meet any requirements to spell, including costly components. The spell simply takes effect. Alternatively, you can create one of the following effects of your choice. Create an object of up to 25,000 gold pieces in value that isn't a magic item, blah, blah, blah. That can't be too big. Allow up to 20 creatures you can see to regain all hit points. Granted to 10 creatures resistance or damage. Granted 10 creep, blah, blah, blah. You might be able to achieve something beyond the scope of the above examples. State your wish to the DM as precisely as possible. The DM has great latitude, blah, 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 blah. The spell might fail. The effect you desire might only be partially achieved. You might suffer some unforeseen consequence.
Oh, okay. So the partially achieved thing, I think when they say beyonds, they don't mean like a higher gold point value. They mean like different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like when you're free balling with it,
yeah. Beyond was
you wishing
written.
for a legendary magic item or artifact might instantly transport you to the presence of the item's current owner.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, that's what you get. Trying to power monger.
I guess like if you wish for something retarded, the DM can just like...
You're in the dragon's lair now. It kills you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're rolling up a level 1 character.
But still, that's...
Yeah, that's good.
Having wish prepared, no chance of losing ability.
Yeah.
And then when you cast a spell, when you replicate a spell, you use that spell level instead of a 9.
Once per long rest.
Well, okay, but still, that's really that's really good.
Yeah,
but,
it is really good. It's really, really good. It probably beats whatever the fighter's 18th level feature was. What was the fighter's one again? The Indomitable thing and 3 extra attacks. 3 extra attacks. 3 extra attacks is a lot.
Unconquerable's pretty good too.
Yeah, there's like wishing for anything.
Buffed high level.
Or you attack once more every 6 seconds. It's a pretty close. Then it's the same epic boon.
Are weaker than casters. Well, let's make casters stronger later.
Yeah, just make them be able to do all utility ever. Yeah. Let's
not fix the problem and instead amplify it.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna make fucking high level campaigns
I can't fix the problem, but I can sure as hell make it worse.
Can you imagine having to deal every session with the fucking sorcerer wishing for a different thing?
That's when you just monkey ball the fuck out of him.
Yeah. Well, that's what you have to do. Just stop him. It's like,
unless he words it.
Then it fucks everyone. Because like what happens is like
that's sorcerer only monkey paw.
The dude wishes like I wish that the big bad evil guy is dead, and then the DM has to like fast forward them through time to where they've died of old age, like 1,000 years later or something. And now like either
campaign
everyone
derailed.
gets fucked or that one character gets fucked. But either way, you derail shit. Yeah.
Yeah. His heart stops for 1 second.
And then the epic boon of energy resistance is the recommended boon for them.
Sounds booty. I'm not caring about the epic boons.
Sounds booty.
I want to focus on the subclass features. So, level 3, Draconic Resilience. Your hit point maximum increases by 3 and 1 whenever you gain another sorcerer level, so even more HP for the caster. That's weird to me. Casters should be squishy, but whatever. It is a buff. Draconic Sorcerers rejoice. They have 2 more HP.
Didn't they always get that?
They've always had that.
Yep.
No, it was 1.
It was 1. Yeah, you're right.
It was 1 at level 1. Or level 3. No, I'm retarded. It is... They always had this. Did they change... What the fuck?
No,
At first level, your hit point maximum increases by 1 and increases by 1 again whenever you gain a level in this class. So it's the same, it's just that you get it at 3rd level instead of 1st, so that's why it's
okay.
So
and also, your armor class equals 10 plus dex plus charisma, which is definitely different.
That is different. It used to be 13 plus dex.
Yeah.
So, you're like the monk.
It used to be this flat mage armor, and now it's dexterity and charisma, which
is better.
Is better,
yeah.
but doesn't make sense.
15 plus dex.
It doesn't
eventually
make sense, yeah.
It's like, fuck you, monk. You have to pick wisdom. That does do
charming
nothing.
personality makes me harder to hit by a sword.
Yeah.
To be fair,
this is the same as the strength thing for the barbarian, okay?
Maybe if they had named it something different, because there's they statted out the characters from the D&D movie, and Hugh Grant's character has an ability called like disarming presence or something, where he gets to add his charisma to his dex. But like the way they worded it, like sort of made sense, but it's also a fucking like movie character, so it's like who cares,
cool.
you know?
Yeah. So more AC. Is the shield spell still in the game? So that's a little wacky, if so.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Yikes. That's gross. That's too good.
Disarming charm, that's what it's called.
Yep. Alright. 3rd level, dragon speech. You can talk to all creatures of the dragon type. So they nerfed the ribbon feature, but buffed the actual feature everyone used the class for. What the fuck? So it used to just give you the draconic speech or whatever, which will let you talk to lizard folk or whatever, which you're much more likely to encounter than a dragon who can't speak common. That's for fucking sure. So that's wacky. Ribbon feature nerf. It was too good of a feature. They had to nerf it.
Yep.
Elemental Affinity at level 6. You gain resistance to that damage type. And you can add charisma modifier to 1 roll of the spell.
That's the same.
Is it the same? I thought it was like cuck shit. Like you had to use sorcery points before.
No, it was just you can add your charisma fighter to 1 damage roll of that spell. At the same time, you can spend 1 sorcery point to gain resistance to that damage type for 1 hour.
I never miss. I have the biggest gigabrain.
Did they not get built in
Resistance?
resistance?
Nope. But now they do. And to be honest, it makes way more sense. It is a very minor buff.
Why did they not have built-in resistance?
I don't know. So, like, there was a 2E designer that was left in there that was like, I'm going to make it finicky.
I'm going to make it weird.
More fiddly. Yep. So once per turn, when you cast Sorcerer's Burst, which was the 66 spell, right?
I thought that was arcane.
Oh, you might be right.
Something.
I think it's the cantrip, actually. Sorcerer's
Cantrip.
Burst is the cantrip, yeah. So once per turn, when you do the cantrip, you
exhale it in a 15-foot
cone. And you must do your dragon type when you do so. When you do, make separate attack and damage rolls against each creature in the spell's cone.
Why?
What? Why wouldn't you just make it a dex save? That's so dumb.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, that's called, I'm just going to make a dex save.
You thought Sorcerer's Burst didn't slow the game down enough with its exploding damage type. Now you have to track the exploding damage separately for up to 4 creatures.
Christ.
That's hilarious. And then 14th level, while your Sorcery Incarnate spell is active, you sprout wings and gain fly speed equal to your speed and can hover. In addition, at the end of each of your turns, you can flap the wings to unleash magical energy, dealing damage to each creature within 15 feet, equal to your charisma modifier, and it's of the affinity. So you've got to cast this booty spell to use this feature. But I mean, like, bonus at the end of each turn, not even a bonus action, dealing 5 damage to everyone within 15 feet. That'll help, kind of. Against like a bunch of small fry.
What's your what's Sorcery Incarnate? Which one was that?
It's the one where it's like a bonus action. You regain 1d4 sorcery points, and you have advantage on attack roll spells.
And you can use 2 Metamagic options.
Instead of 1.
Spell. So you have to cast that 5th level spell, and then you can fly.
And then you can fly. And then if you're flying, why would you have people within
damage.
15 feet of you?
It's just there in case.
In case you're mobbed.
It's free. It doesn't cost an
surrounded.
action or anything. But it seems a little extra.
Yeah. It's like ignoring the feature, you get flight with that spell, which is okay.
Yeah, but it used to not be tied to a spell. You could just do it.
Yeah, what did it used to be? Let's see.
You can create these wings as a bonus action. They last until you dismiss them as a bonus action on your turn. So it was just free.
Oh no, you can't wear armor,
Okay.
which is free. No,
Yeah,
look,
it's
in
free.
highly meta games, everyone likes fucking multi-classes so they can get heavy armor casters. But since they have the level 3 feature where they have 10 plus charisma plus dex,
Oh, so they had to get rid of that.
now you can do it if you're wearing armor, but why would you wear armor when you have probably like 17 AC by default?
There's got to be. I'm trying to think of like what two Metamagic options would you want to use at the same time that makes you want to cast a 5th level spell.
I mean, empowered spell and.
But you can already do empowered spell.
Oh fuck, you're right.
You can.
Okay, subtle spell and careful spell, so you don't get counterspelled.
Counterspelled from your Fireball, I guess, in very specific situations where you know the enemy's gonna have counterspell.
In very specific situations, it's helpful. Well, now you can just cast it for fly, but at 5th level as a bonus action. And the advantage on the attack rolls for like the 3 spells that have attack rolls. Oh.
You can do extended spell with hidden spell.
Yeah, it's true. There's
That's
some
not bad.
combos. There's probably like some spell where it's like super OP and it might be worth it.
Maybe. I just seems hard for a 5th level spell to be worth that.
Yeah. Overall, I feel like it's a humongous boost for the sorcerer.
Yeah, overall, I think the Sorcerer's
More
a lot
powerful.
And I think that's fine, because Sorcerer was always a little too weak, in my opinion.
Yeah. Sorcerer's weird for me, because I feel like they should be worse casters than wizards, but they should be better at blasting. It's my opinion.
Yes.
So it's kind of weird that
I
they
think
have
that's how
like
they should be,
the
yeah.
same spell list as wizards. I assume the wizards got to have some pretty crazy features to compete with this, though, because like
Wizards get, like, a version of Metamagic that you have to plan for in advance, but then as
Which is
they get to
cooler.
9th level, they can make those changes permanent by creating a new spell. So you
Ooh.
can spend 3,000 gold to make a counter spell that has no material components and has a range of like 300 feet.
Okay,
So you can make an uncounterable long-range counter spell.
that's lame. Guess what all the enemy
it-
wizards are gonna have.
Yeah, it costs 3,000 gold, and you
Yeah,
can 9th level.
no, 3,500 because they're also gonna have like a fucking spyglass as well.